My name's Dave. I have a spinal cord injury at T10, which is basically tummy button level.
My name is Krista Dyson. In 1993, I had a spinal stroke.
My name is Ian. I was injured in 2004, so 13 years ago. Broke my neck in a car accident.
My name is Lady Marie Dawson Malcolm, and I sustained a spinal cord injury in 1992 at level C5-6.
Day to day, I can do most stuff. So I get myself out of bed, I have a wheelchair in my bedroom, it takes me to the stair lift on the landing, that brings me downstairs, I jump into my other chair, that then takes me around the downstairs. So that will get me to my kitchen, my shower room, the toilet, and so on.
My day-to-day routine starts slowly. First of all, my spinal cord injury affects my blood pressure, so before I even get out of bed, I have to do some exercises to just get my blood pressure up a little bit.
I play a lot of sport. Wheelchair rugby is my thing. I've played wheelchair rugby for about 12 years now, and that was a big life changer for me, in as much as I met a load of guys that I could learn things from that had been injured longer than me at the time. I was getting fitter and stronger, and the fitter and stronger I got, the more I was able to do, the more confident I got with that. The more confident I got, the more I went out, the more I did. And by going out and doing more, I was then getting fitter and stronger. So it was a win-win in all directions. So wheelchair rugby was a big life changer for me all those years back.
Well, at level C5-6, I have no sensation from my chest down. I can't move my fingers. My arms, I move around, but I'm not able to extend my arm to this is about as high as it will go. I can't wash or dress myself. I can't comb my hair. I can brush my teeth with the help with an electric toothbrush. I can't prepare meals for myself, so I have carers that do that for me. And for me, what I do is instruct people what to do in order for me to be able to live.
Before injury, I've been in the motor trade for many, many years, from when I left school. So I was very much hands-on. I could fix anything. It was just a case of, I could get to it, it was easy. I do find it slightly challenging now that I can't get to everything. I still know how to fix things, and I can just about get around it with my dexterity to do things. I do find it a little bit frustrating that I can't do some things, but I think generally through the whole life, it's not I can't, it's how do I, and you'll find a different way to do things.
The main challenges I face on a day-to-day basis are the fact that I have my hands lack dexterity. I've got no fine motor movement in my fingers. So the smallest of tasks becomes a monumental challenge. And anything that I have that helps me overcome just one small problem is a step further forward in my independence.
I have upper body strength. I don't have my whole core, and so I have about half of that. So bending down and stretching I can do, but it's a more difficult manoeuvre for me, and I run the risk of literally just flopping out of the front of my chair if I stretch too far. And that then creates a further set of problems, because then I'm rolling around on the floor, perhaps on glass, and have to get back into my chair. And so it's just how things can escalate when something goes wrong.
Anything that involves using my hands, the carers would need to do it for me. I can't even pick up the remote if it was on the table to say try and pick it up. I can't do that because I have no grip.
One thing I do find challenging is getting the rugby chair from the ground into the back of the car. I can wheel it from the garage to the back of the car, but it's that lifting it from ground to car. Let's just say it's 2 foot, but when you've got no trunk muscles, I can bend down and I can touch it, but I can't sit myself up and pick the chair back up and put it in the boot of the car. It's reasonably wide. It's a fairly large unit. It's not majorly heavy, it's just a bulky unit to get into the back of the car. When I come to getting it out, I can get it out on my own because I just pull it out the back of the car and put it on my knees, wheel myself backwards and then drop it down on the floor, because obviously gravity helps you then, but it's that doing it against gravity, lifting it up to put it in the back of the car. That's one thing I do find a challenge. If there's someone in, I can get someone to put it in the car. I can quite often find somebody when I finish training at the stadium to pick it up and put it in the car for me, because if you ask people, generally people will help you. But it's the one thing if I'm at home on my own, or if I do finish training late at the stadium and there's no one around, that's when it's a challenge. So there's lots of scratches on the back of the car from trying to get the chair in on my own.
The best bit of kit I've got is an attachment that fits onto the front of my wheelchair, and it lifts up my front casters about an inch or two, and it means that I can go over rough ground or grass or difficult terrain. And why that's important to me is that I have a 10-year-old son who is obsessed with football. And so if I want to take him football training or take him to a match on a Sunday, I need to be able to wheel over grass. And you can't easily do that in a conventional wheelchair. So having this adaptation that lifts my front casters, it makes the whole journey much smoother, and it means that I can go pitch side and cheer him on and support him and do what most people would regard as a very normal family orientated activity. So that's a really important piece of kit for me.
I've got a handle and it's probably about 30 or 40 centimetres long, and it goes on the bathroom wall, and it's got two great big sucker pads, and you flip a tab across to suck it on to the tiled wall. That then enables me to, when I transfer, as something to hold on to, and I can use that to get in and out of the bath, so I can then use a totally non-adapted bathroom.
I could not pick one. Every one is absolutely vital to me, being able to get through my day. No one assumes more importance than the other. They're all just invaluable, and I just want more. I've recently acquired an assistance dog, and I would love to be able to play a ball game with him in the garden. I can't physically retrieve a ball from the ground and flick it for him or throw it across the lawn. So I would love to have a ball flicker for my dog.
So if you want to impress me, make a chair that hovers.
This morning, for example, when I got off the train, I went to the lift, but where the buttons were placed, I couldn't reach it. So I had to look around to see if there was anyone coming along to get them to come and help and press. So if there's something that could be invented that would make it easier for me to reach things or to apply pressure, that would be fantastic. You know, anything that could enable me to be able to grip something, that would be good.
Changing light bulbs is challenging, but I can't imagine anyone finding a magic fix for that.
You're never going to fully understand my life unless you have a spinal cord injury. But if you want a window into my world, then you need to think about sitting down. Now, ideally, that would mean borrowing a wheelchair and actually spending some time in it. You know, go and make a cup of tea as a wheelchair user. You know, push down to your local shops as a wheelchair user, and it will completely change your perspective of what life for a sitting down person is like. If you can't get hold of a wheelchair, put yourself in an ordinary chair and try and do the task that you've set yourself. And you'll start to get an appreciation, not just of the difficulties that come with sitting down all the time, but also the opportunities that presents to bring something to that marketplace that's going to really help people. So if you want to test your knowledge and understanding and the product you're developing, sit down. If it's a 300-year-old pub I'm trying to get into and it hasn't been adapted, I can live with that, but for stuff that's being built now, there's a lot more that can be done out there. And that's what I'd really like to see, making the environment more friendly for everyone.